It's happening, trainers. New Gen 4 evolutions are here. We're going to be evolving them, powering them up, buying secondary moves, not doing PvP tests or going up against any gyms or raids quite yet, just looking at them and then going into their stats so you can see how well they are. Make a decision if you want to use your Sinnoh Stone or not. This is so exciting, guys. Yanmega, Glade, Lickilicky, Tangrowth, we're going to evolve all of those right here, right now. So let's get into this. Right, trainers, so now that we went over that, let's go ahead and do our evolutions because, yeah, it's happening. They're live and you can do this. There's new Pokemon in the wild, trainers. We'll get to that later, but first, let's go ahead and make these evolutions because, wow, I'm quite excited. Right after this, we're going to do Yanmega, and then we're going to max it out and try to get a couple into different leagues to see if we can do that right now. As far as doing PvP battles, look out for that later, so make sure you're subscribed, leave a like for this video because it does help me out. And now we're going to go ahead and go into the evolution, guys. I am so excited. Ready? Let's get Glade right now. So yeah, it's going to require 100 candies and a Sinnoh Stone. So is it worth it? I say definitely, of course. So we're going to see the performance and hopefully get a decent moveset. Am I going to purchase another move? Absolutely. I do want to get one of these into the Great League for sure. So I have to try to find a correct CP, so we can make that happen. And then we have 1880. So this is going to be a lucky one. I will be able to power it up quite a bit. It's going to cost quite a lot of Stardust to purchase that secondary move. So we'll do the power-ups and the purchasing of the moves later. So there you have Glade, guys. This is amazing. Let's go ahead and go on to our next one here. All right, so now we have Yanma. These are all fairly high CP, so they're going to reach a decent potential, but like I said, I do want to get a couple of them into the Great League and Ultra League as well. The Master League, not so much, but it's going to be nice to have a few of these maxed out to go up against different raids, to do different challenges here. So I'm just kind of deciding on which one I want to go with. Probably the 15-15. Then this is going to be the one I max out as well. So let's go ahead and get this evolution underway, folks, because wow, Yanmega, finally, this is my buddy right here. This is going to be my buddy. And that is that. Been waiting for this guy for a whole long time. And here we go. Yanmega coming into Pokemon Go hot. That looks awesome. Let's go, trainers. New entry. Probably should have put on a lucky egg. So I love that color, especially. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes, this is happening. This is happening, guys. So it is going to be able to reach that Ultra League, so I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah. Let's do the secondary move. Probably should have went with one that has lower attack in the IVs, but at this point I'm too excited, so we're just going to go ahead and stick with that. And we are going to use a charge move, my only one. We're going to go with Ancient Power and go with Bug Buzz there. We have Bug Bite and Bug Buzz being the best move. And we're going to go ahead and power this up just a little bit and then make it my buddy. I just want it to be as close as it can get to the 2500 mark. Stardust at this point is no worry. I don't care. Let's just spend it. We've been waiting for these evolutions for too long. So it is at 2465. If I go one more, it's going to go over. So that's looking great. Let's go ahead and make that my buddy right about now. All right, so there's the Yanmega, and it is now my buddy. There we are. Finally, been waiting for this one for a whole long time. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next evolution here. So just a quick little reference. You cannot get Magnezone quite yet, but keep an eye out for that in the future, as well as Garchomp, because you have no Gibble. You can't even evolve it yet. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go with this one as a matter of fact and get that Tangrowth right now, folks. Yeah, we're using the Sinnoh Stones up because I had quite a few on reserve. Not to mention for the coming up Community Day, we will be able to get a secure 6 of them. I'm pretty sure it's going to be 6. And if you're thinking, well, Poke, they said 5. Yep, but you can do that trainer battle, so that is an additional one. I don't know if that's going to be included in the whole total Sinnoh Stone rewards for that day, but it is an option. So there we have the Tangrowth, making it right over the Great League, unfortunately. And look at this funny guy here. Awesome. He does have Infestation and Ancient Power. So there you go. I'm not going to be changing any of the moves because, well, I have no more charge TMs. So that's going to be unfortunate. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one here. Okay, so I do have a lucky Lickitung. So I will be making that my Sinnoh Stone evolution. So Without further ado, let's move on to the next one, folks. Isn't this exciting? So many new Pokemon that are going to require a Sinnoh Stone. Yes, but at the same time, hey, it is what it is. It's better than having, I don't know, 7 different stones, I suppose, and then you have to find them all. Although that would have been nice. It was kind of odd how they just went down the whole one, stone evolution for everything. And this looks just magnificent with that lucky background. Look at this guy with his tongue sticking out here and his big belly. All right. Lickilicky. Alrighty. We have Zen Headbutt and Solar Beam. And there you go. Very nice. Let's move on to the next one. And now, of course, we're going to do the Froslass that we were talking about yesterday. Have a 98% here. And it's not lucky or anything, but that's okay. We're just going to go ahead and use that Sinnoh Stone right away to see what we can get ourselves at. Didn't check the CP potential on where it's going to land. We'll just hope for the best. This one does have a lower CP range, so it will most definitely be in the Great League because it can't actually get past it. This max CP is going to be 2,000 something, right? So there goes the Froslass. Very nice. This is amazing. Yeah, 1162. We're looking great. Hex and Shadow Ball. Alrighty, so I'm going to have to go out and start doing raids, guys, because I'm going to have to change a lot of these moves. And look at it there. Quite nice. Reminds me of a sort of Geisha kind of deal. Alright, so now let's go ahead and do this one. Yes, it is a fairly low, but it's a lucky. And we're going to... Do we want to use this Sinnoh Stone on? Let me see here. Starting to really dig into the reserves. So we have 4 more. I'm not too worried about the Mamoswine. We'll get 5 guaranteed. Okay, we're looking all right. So we still have a few more days, well, a while before the community day. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that here. Going to get all these evolutions out of the way for you guys so you can see what they look like. If I can get it, there we go. So let's go ahead and evolve it and see what we have here. Now, I'm not going to power this up by any means. I just want to get all these evolutions out of the way and enter them into the Pokedex. And still have no lucky egg on, and yeah. Alright. There is Ambipom. Okay. It's got udders for tails for some odd reason. I'm not too sure. Ever since I was younger, I was like, what is going on with the udders on this, and why does it have them? So we have Scratch and Aerial Ace. Okay, let's move on to the next one here. Let's take a little look around. All right, silly little monkey. Let's go ahead and start that up. All right, trainers, that is going to conclude the evolutions for now. We're going to go ahead and power this up till about 2,500 CP because it is lucky and it's not going to cost me that much Stardust. And I'm not really worried about the candies because I am sitting on around 600 of them. So we're looking great. And we do want this to go into the Ultra League here. As far as purchasing a secondary move, I probably will do it right now in here for you guys. We'll just see what I have. It's just very costly, and by the time I know it, I'll be down to 4 million Stardust, so that's not going to be good whatsoever. But I do definitely want to get one of these into the Great League for sure, because it's so awesome, and I know the potential for it is going to be decent, so bringing it up here. Man, guys, isn't this awesome? We finally got them! They're here! New Gen 4 Evolutions! Jeez! This is it! Let's go! Alright, let's continue to power it up. So yeah, Glade's model 2, now that I'm looking at it, looks super cool, nice and clean. Pretty much everything in Pokemon Go's models are clean, so I'm really excited about that. Alright, so we're continuing on here. Gonna bring it up. Spending that Stardust because what is it good for if you just sit on it? Especially when there's new Gen 4 Evolutions. Let's go and power them up. Alright, and this is going to be the last power up here. Are we going to purchase a secondary move? It's worth it. That's for sure. It's a given. It's just quite expensive. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Let's do it, guys. Let's buy it. Here we go. Rest in peace, Stardust. So we have Close Combat and then Psychic. Is that exactly what I want? Not quite. Was that worth almost 100,000 Stardust? Not quite, but I'm doing it for you guys. So make sure you give this video a like. It is at 11 in IVs for attack, so that is, you know, better than 15 going into a PvP battle, so at least it has that going for it. So there is Glade completely powered up for the Ultra League and with a secondary move, Confusion and Psychic. So do I want Confusion? Not really. We're going to go ahead and switch that up right now and go with Low Kick. Yes, Confusion is good, but Low Kick is going to be gaining the energy a little bit better. And I do have that Psychic. I just want to test it out, see how they perform, and I'll make my judgment later on. Alright, now looking at all these new evolutions, it's looking so fantastic. Take a look for yourself here. We're looking amazing. So you will be able to hatch new baby Pokemon. Not too sure which eggs are going to be coming out of. So keep an eye on social media for all of that information. I will bringing you guys more videos to keep you up to date on what's going on and showing you the potential of these Pokemon going into PvP matches. As far as going up against raids, I'm going to have to completely max them out, and that is going to come later on. So this Yanmega, wow, I am so happy about this, guys. It is just amazing, and it will be passing the 20, yep, so I can't power it up again. And the moveset, I'm happy with that. It looks great. Right, so let's go ahead and go over Yanmega first. We have this bug and flying type Pokemon, which I'm extremely excited to see entering into Pokemon Go. Been waiting for this for some time now. It's going to have a max CP of 2,946, attack 231, defense 156, and stamina 200. So it does have quite a bit of health to it and a decent attack. As far as its best moveset, that's going to be Bug Bite and Bug Buzz, doing a damage output of 18.71. So there you go. As far as weaknesses, it's going to be weak to Electric, Fire, Flying, Ice, and extra weak to Rock because it's going to be a Bug and Flying type, both of which those types are going to be taking super effective damage from rocks. Here's where Yanmega is going to shine. Being a Bug and Flying type, it will be double resistant against ground, fighting, and grass. So that is extra amazing, taking extreme reduced damage from ground types, being a flying type. So if you're playing PvP, you're weak against, I'd say, fighting and grass types. You throw in your Yanmega and you should be able to take that opponent out quite quickly with those possible flying moves and then bug moves going up against the grass types. So Yanmega is looking fantastic as far as the resistances go. Yes, it has a pretty, readily available weakness list, but that could be made up with those resistances down below if you play your cards right. So now let's go ahead and go over Glade. It's going to be a Psychic and Fighting type, max CP 3093, attack 237, defense 195, and stamina 169. So we did go over this Pokemon a few videos back, as well as several videos back, continuously talking about how amazing it's going to be. Let's go ahead and see its weaknesses. Weak to Fairy, Flying, Ghost, and then resisting, Fighting, and Rock type. So its best moveset is going to be Confusion and Close Combat with a damage output of 20.24. Regarding PvE, that's going up against gyms and raids, not actually PvP itself. So I can't wait for this one. This is going to be quite exciting. Now we have Lickilicky. This one is going to be a fairly defensive Pokemon, and I'd say it should hold up fairly well in PvP. We're going to go ahead and look at its moves as a matter of fact after this. It's going to have a max CP of 2467, so this is going to be a great Ultra League Pokemon right here. Attack 161, defense 181, and stamina at a whopping 242. So quite a lot of health going on for this Pokemon here. It's going to be weak to Fighting and Ghost, and that is it because it is a pure normal type. So let's go ahead and take a look at its moves because that is important. We have Lick and then Zen Headbutt. Personally using Lick on my Snorlax, I know the performance is quite nice. The energy gain isn't the best, it's not the worst, but it does help you get the job done. Now, unfortunately for this Pokemon, it is going to have only single charge moves for its specials: Hyper Beam, Solar Beam, and Earthquake. It's not going to be horrible, but at the same time, we already know those double and triple charge bar moves are going to be key for going up against people in PvP. So as far as this Pokemon goes, it's not looking the best, but it could find some sort of usability depending on how you play. We have Froslass. We did go over this yesterday. Ice and Ghost type Pokemon. This is going to be a great league deal for you. Max CP 2040, attack 171, defense 150, and stamina 172. Its best moveset is going to be Powdered Snow and Shadow Ball with a damage output of 12.38 damage per second. Alright, like we went over that, it's not going to be for PvP, that's going up against raids. Alright, so it's still not going to be a horrible moveset going in there with that PvP. And then you have weak to Dark, Fire, Ghost, Rock, and Steel, resisting Normal, Bug, Fighting, Ice, and Poison type. So there you have the Froslass. We have Mamoswine. We already know we're going to be getting this for February's Community Day, so it's not going to drop as soon as these other Pokemon, if they do come before the Community Day, which I would assume, seeing that Apple just tweeted out that awesome looking picture, which is about to blow up everywhere. So Mamoswine is going to be an Ice and Ground type, max CP 3,328, attack at a whopping 247, defense 146, and stamina 242. So this is an amazing Pokemon with high stamina equaling a lot of HP, and then a sort of decent defense stat, but then the attack is just way up there, as well as a fantastic move pool. This thing is going to be something you definitely want. Now the only mystery here is what is it going to receive for its community day, because it already has the best ice offensive moveset that you can have in Pokemon Go currently, so that's quite up in the air. Possibly a decent ground move for a 2 charge bar, we'll have to see. It's going to be week 2, fighting fire, grass, steel, and water, resisting electric and poison. Up we have Ambipom, which is going to possibly be okay concerning the Great League. It's going to be a pure normal type here. In the main series game, you could use this quite significantly well if you knew what you were doing. So it's going to have a max CP of 2,418, which is making it perfect for the Ultra League, completely maxed out, showing its true potential. So you would want the best IVs possible if you were going into that league. Attack 205, defense 143, and stamina 181. So there you go for this little guy here. We'll take a look at its moves to see what it has. It's just going to be weak to fighting and Ghost being a pure normal type. So let's go ahead and take a look at its moves. Maybe it has something good going on for it. Astonish and Scratch. Okay, Scratch is a decent move in PvP, I suppose. It doesn't have horrible energy gain, but it can put on a lot of damage onto that Pokemon. Personally using it with my Persian. It's going to have Hyper Beam, Aerial Ace, and Low Sweep for the charge move. Aerial Ace showing some potential, as well as Low Sweep. Low Sweep being a fairly easy move to finally gain that energy for, being at only 33, as well as Aerial Ace continuously happening. As far as Hyper Beam, it's going to be doing a lot of damage, but not something you're really going to want to go into with PvP or even raids, I suppose. You could use it going up against raids, but there's obviously a lot better options. So this is definitely going to be something you may want to consider to give it a shot in PvP. Who knows? So yeah, thank you for watching, trainers. This is quite exciting. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I will be catching you all later with a whole lot more Gen 4 news and possibly going up against people using them in PvP. Take care.